Happy New Year, it is January 2023. I'm personally a January fan. It has so much hope, so much promise. Nothing in the year has actually gone wrong yet. It's February I can't abide. February is like the Tuesday of months. Today I'm talking all about New Year's resolutions. I know some people can't stand New Year's resolution. They don't like the whole and I get it, but personally, I can't really imagine getting to the end of the year and thinking, do you know what, Hannah? No notes. I'm on a journey of self-improvement and learning, and honestly, I live for this. Over the years, I have perfected the art of resolutions. I don't set myself unachievable targets. I only set my sights on changes that are actually within my control. And number three, I never, ever do any New Year's resolutions about body weight. For the past 4 years, I've actually chosen a word for the year, which kind of acts as a theme. And what's so great about choosing a word is that you can't really fail at a word per se. It's more like a sentiment which you can use as guidance when you've got multiple decisions that you have to constantly make across the year. A word or a theme really helps you guide that decision making. Let me share with you some examples. 2019, I had just moved back to London from Vancouver and I really wanted to kickstart my career, and I was just trying to put myself out there as much as possible, and my word for the year was yes. In 2020, I found that I was being a little tentative with how I was putting myself out there with both my artwork and how I personally conducted myself, and I wanted to kind of change that, so my word for the year was bold. In 2021, we were just coming out of lockdowns and things were beginning to open up again, and I really wanted to become a full-time artist this year. So my word for the year was grow. In 2022, I had learned a lot from being a full-time artist for a year, but there were some decisions that in my gut I kind of knew weren't right, but I did them anyway, maybe because of money or because of pressure or because of fear. So my year for 2022 was trust. That brings us to 2023, and my word for the year, drum roll please, is build. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I actually came up with my word of the year, and also how I'm going to use it to actually set myself some tangible goals. Let's do this. My name is Hannah Bennyhood. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to my studio. I am an artist and architect working right here in London, and on this channel I share my creative journey. If that's something that you're interested in, please do click the subscribe button. It really helps me out, and also it helps with my word of the year and my goals. Okay, so first of all, how I came up with the word. So I have used this, which is called the Year Compass. Show you that there. It's a free downloadable PDF, and I'll leave the link to it in the description of the video. And I've been using this for about 4 years, and it's basically just like a booklet that helps you look back on your year that you've just had. And I found this really helpful if you're someone who works for themselves. You know, you don't have typical annual reviews or annual appraisals. So this is kind of a way to guide you through it. It's not specifically for work at all. It covers work, but it also covers friends, family, and your health. So I think it's a really good way. You can't really look at one of those things without thinking about the others anyway. So it's a really brilliant tool I have found to actually review my year that has just gone. So I usually do that in one day. It actually kind of takes quite a bit out of you, emotionally. So then the next day I kind of do the year looking forward. So once I've kind of reviewed all the things that stood out in the year gone by, things that I really enjoyed, things that didn't work so well, there kind of ends up becoming recurring themes that keep on popping up during this process of this review. And going through this by the end of it, it actually asks you to choose a word of the year. So this was how I came up with my word of the year. So like I said, my word of the year this year is build. And let me kind of explain this, how I'm thinking about this word with some examples. So what I have created is like a list of aspirations and then associated actions between them, to help me actually take actual step towards getting to what I aspire to. Number one, the kind of most obvious one, is I want to build stuff. When I looked back at last year, the things I absolutely loved, a lot of it was either building furniture for personal projects, building the deconstructed disco, like building the installation myself, or working on the rainbow ribbons and working with other like professional fabricators building my artwork. And this is something that I really want to focus on. I just absolutely love doing it. So the actual action I'll do is basically I'll just keep my eyes out in terms of any opportunities that I could either bid on something that takes building, or I could see if I could think of any potential clients where I could pitch things to. And then alternatively, if I can't find anything out there like a paid opportunity, I think I'm just gonna do more like DIY personally for myself. I mean, I can even make videos about them, so it could kind of feed into the work that I do. But yeah, that is number one thing in terms of build. I just want to build more stuff because it honestly, it makes me feel so good. So yeah, number one, build stuff. Number two, and this is where you come in, I want to build an online audience. So this is something that I have never prioritized. In fact, my first YouTube video I ever made was all about how I built a career for myself without using social media. I have, for the past 5 years, completely focused on building relationships with clients rather than building an online audience. But since starting this YouTube channel, which I love, it takes a lot of effort to do this. And you know, I'd like to not be shouting into a void. That would be nice. So I think for the first time, I am actually going to start taking social media seriously and thinking about how I can build a community around the work that I do, which is kind of nerve-wracking and also exciting. So for my tangible action for this, I am not going to set myself any number targets instead of like number followers or number subscribers. Like when it comes to resolutions, it's really important not to set like targets that you can't control. Like I can't control if you press subscribe or not. I hope you do, but I can't do that. What I can control is how many times I upload. So what I have decided to do is basically create myself a content schedule that covers Instagram and YouTube, and also I am starting a TikTok account. It's happening, it's happening. I haven't actually posted anything yet. If I've started it by the time this video's out, I'll put my handle here. But yeah, just because the algorithm seems to be the best way to reaching new audiences, then you know, I'm up for it, I'm down, let's do it. Number three is kind of very much connected to number two, and I want to build healthy habits. I have quite an addictive personality, and if one of my goals is going to be building an online audience and therefore potentially spending more time online, I want to make sure that I have healthy habits in my life so I don't like fall down a black hole of doom, scrolling and hating myself. I'm just the kind of person who's always had a bit of a tortured relationship with her phone. If you watch my previous video on drawing habits, you know that I'll lock my phone at night and I don't get it out till the morning, which I will continue. I have also added apps onto my phone which actually regulate the use of social media. So like, for example, I can't spend longer than 20 minutes on TikTok and 40 minutes on Instagram, so that's just like an hour of social media use. And then I also downloaded this app, which I'm really enjoying. It's a bit glitchy because I'm using a beta version for Android, but it's called 1 Sec. And basically what it does is when you open like Instagram, for example, it makes you take a breath. So it does like this thing that you follow. It's like breathe in, breathe out. And then it just asks you the question, are you sure you want to open Instagram? And you can just say yes, but it creates like a speed bump to get to the apps that you go to, because the thing with me, especially Instagram, I go to it mostly through habit, not because I actually want to go to it. So instead of having to delete Instagram off my phone and put it back again and blah, 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 which I usually do, I think I would prefer to just have this like ability to stop myself just between that automatic habit. Number 4 is that I want to build on my reputation within the industry. Last year I was invited to like sit on a couple of like boards about public art or review panels, and I turned them down just because I wanted to focus on my own artwork. But I actually think I'm in a quite unique position where, because I don't have a boss, I feel like I can kind of say things maybe within an industry that some people don't feel like they can, like things about complaining about invoices not being paid, or talk about the process of procurement. I'll say yes to any of those things that come up this year, and I'm also going to start utilising LinkedIn more, which again I've just never really used, but I think I might actually start writing like sort of micro blogs about the industry and the role of public art. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that one. Number 5 is to build in confidence. I think I have a different version of this basically every year. But yeah, I think I'm doing a pretty good job, at least like externally, of presenting myself in a confident manner. But I still question whether I'm making the right decisions with my career, with my artwork, what's good, what's not, which I think is relatively healthy, but it can kind of get a bit negative at times. And also, you know, like comparison really is like the thief of joy. So I don't want to compare myself too much to other people. Just head down, keep in my lane, do what I love, and it'll all work out. I suppose something actionable that I could do with that is just be very cognitive of where I'm spending my time and when maybe being online is serving me or when it's not, and making sure that I don't want, what did Elon Musk called it? He's a twat. I'm not a fan of Elon Musk, by the way, but he talked about, when he was talking about Twitter, he was talking about not having regrettable time online, and I think that's such a good way to put it. I don't want to have regrettable time online. I want to go online and just come away inspired, or come away that I've connected with someone in a positive way, rather than feel like. So yeah, so that's what I want to do. Also, number 6, I really want to build my savings. So I'm also thinking about having quite a frugal year. So that's something else I'm thinking about as well. So my word build kind of covers like a multitude of actions and aspirations for 2023, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I would love to know if you have a word of the year. Please do leave it in the comments. Hopefully, if I keep to my schedule, there will be 2 videos from me every single month for a whole year. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Before I go, a little reminder, do give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. In the sentiment of my word of the year, before I go, come and follow me on Instagram, come follow me on TikTok. Why don't you follow me on LinkedIn? I'm everywhere now because I'm building an online audience this year. Anyway, until next time, I shall see you soon. Take care.